Hello and welcome to the Messages from Energy here on the Astro Flower. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a lovely week. Enjoying the energies, connecting, finding your 0 point, which we went into on other videos, and exploring your intuition and your connection to energy in a beautiful way. This week, we had the blackout in the area where I said there's a video on it of what that void of magnetic field that was coming through the surface, that's as it bursts the bubble of that magnetic field as it reaches the surface, and it creates a void of positive and negative, of polarized energy, which creates that blackout. And that's what it created in Bali. And we're going to be talking, looking at that, a little bit, see how that's going. Might have to do a second video on that. It might be too much information to try and get into this one, but it'd be interesting to see that. But one thing I've noticed over here in Europe is that the energies, like before a wave actually breaks with you, it pulls the water away, and things seem to go very quickly. When you're standing on the edge and the water's being drained around your ankles, you can feel it being pulled away very quickly. And I was feeling that particularly on Sunday and Monday, which was lovely. It's good to get things done. You can get into that rhythm. And then there is that moment of void before the wave then comes in. And that void seemed to be happening on Tuesday. I don't know about you, how life was treating you, but on Tuesday, it may have, if you're concentrating on your path, that's absolutely fantastic. We all get caught out. I got caught out. So I actually had a day where I had to let go of most things. That's the best way to relax. It's like if you get rolled on by a wave, don't struggle against the wave, don't struggle against the energy, just allow it to happen, and things then just pan out as they should do. And today, the energy is already picking up because that wave is coming through at the moment. And when we look at the sun, because as I do, looking at the sun, we're moving. Last week we were on earth and water. This time coming round at the moment, there is sunspots, but they don't seem to be triggering. And I said this back in October, when everybody else was saying solar cycle 25 is going to last right up to the end of year 2025. And I was saying in September, October, I don't think so. I think it's going to be done by Christmas. And if you look at the sunspots since Christmas, it's just been a gradual downward slope and an increase of that filament energy, which is water energy, emotional energy. You may be experiencing a lot of water within your seasons, wherever you are at the moment. I think that's going to be a returning factor over the next sort of 10, 12 years. So that may be something I'm going to maybe do a video on that, of what is going on the longer term prediction on the energies that are coming through. That will help you knowing which years to really push, which years to explore yourself, which years to reconcentrate on yourself, and so forth. So we'll do that on another video. So I don't think those sunspots are really going to be doing anything, but the filament energy has taken an uptick. There is no doubt about it. There's a lot more. When filament energy, if you imagine that's the surface of the sun, when filament energy, it's like a rope of plasma that goes across an area, like a stitch in a piece of clothing. And occasionally that stitch will break, and it will, much slower than solar flares, it will be a much slower wind, faster than the corona hole or earth energy, because it's water energy. There's a lot more sort of fluid, that energy there, as it detaches from the sun, it creates a hole behind it, like the stitch in the clothing. If it comes undone, it creates a hole in the clothing, and that's what the corona hole is. So the water energy at the moment is creating or contributing to the creation of earth energy through the system. And so this week here, I think we're looking at elements that go between water primarily and how it's affecting or encouraging the earth energy. Now, last week on the messages from energy, the messages that came through was all about taking a firm step going forward into your life, doing what you're supposed to be doing here on this planet, but driven by happiness. You're doing it because you're happy to do it. You enjoy doing it. If you're not enjoying what you do in life, you need to take time out, connect, go and see that, finding your 0.0 energy on this channel, and then also talk about when there's the AINI video that I did. So you could, this or everything around me is like my own AI system. Once you connect to it energetically, it becomes very, very clear what you should do. And you'll realize over time that in reality, there is no choices in life at all. It's just an evident path that you should be following. Making that evident path clear is the difficult thing. Once we start getting that, yeah, we investigate cul-de-sacs here and there, dead-end roads, as it were, but we don't get lost completely on a different path. We tend to stay straight and true to what we are here to do. And the more we can do that, the more common sense we will have between each and every single one of us, and the more we realize that actually it's better that we don't knock hell bells out of each other and really enjoy it. So that was last week. This week here, it seems like this wave is coming through, and this water energy is going to become more important. Just sitting here in the energy, I connected it just before we started the video. I can already feel the energy, like the wind at my back, encouraging me to fly, or to encouraging me to fly forward in my life, to walk forward with a lighter pace or a lighter footprint, not just firmly getting onto your pathway. Like a plane when it's taking off, you'll have that sinking moment as it starts accelerating, and then when it takes off, everything becomes light. And this is, I think, what we're moving into this week here. So let's just connect. Let's go fully onto, so I can cancel out the mind a little bit. We find that neutral point, 0.0. Excellent. As I said, I think the energy is really, it's shuffling, you know, it's really helping us along. It's got our backs. And I think I talked a lot about that in the energy readings, on the tarot readings on Thursday and Friday as well. It was all about that when you start stepping into your life, energy does have your back. And it feels like here the energy is showing it, and really showing it, obviously not for the first time, but really showing it in a broader sense across the board, as it were. So this is a beautiful energy. It's very much, let's get on to the chakra sequencing, because I think it's starting to play on my chakras. So I just need to, rather than, okay, so there we go. We're connected to that line that comes through here. Waiting for that central point. There it is there. Absolutely brilliant. Connecting the root and the crown. That's your vertical energy, the staff of Hermes. And the crown chakra, although it's like a Bob Marley song said, a philosophy, light as a feather and heavy as lead. And that's what it feels like there. There's purpose in that crown chakra. There's purpose in the consciousness at the moment. And it's not just a purpose for gain or loss or things like that. It's a purpose of being. It's a purpose of taking one's place within this beautiful dance which we call life, and this evolutionary process that we're all going through. It's on the move again now. It's gone past everything, and it seems to be sitting in the sacrum. Now, the sacrum is all about fundamental desires. It's also the fight and flight origin a little bit, and it's the essentials of life, basically. And I think this is where the energy is sort of saying, it seems to be coming through as if to sort of say, if you are doing the essential things in your life, you will get the results. And those essential things is tied into why we're here, why we should be doing that. Sometimes we don't even need to know the why. We just need to know that, should I or shouldn't I? The moment you start working into the should I or shouldn't I, you will understand the why over a period of time. It's on the move again. It's coming to the solar plexus. Now, this solar plexus is really nice. It ties in with the crown chakra as well, because it's really, it's making light work of heavy ideas. So it could be a thing here where this week here, there's a lot of information that's coming through the energy that will help you to put the mechanics in place in order for you to live what you wish to live, or what you should be living. And it seems to be making a lot of clarity. This thing should be first. I can build this on this, and then I can do this, like steps going forward. And I did speak about the Hierophant card as well within the tarot deck. It's very similar to that. Mastery of the spirit over the physical world. And that's when I get the solar plexus and the crown chakra. It's now starting to move from the solar plexus, goes past the heart, and is moving into the third eye and the throat. We've still got this communication is key. Do not confuse your intuition with overstepping the mark. I think it's having a word at me there for that, for my Tuesday, where I got a little bit carried away. I think this is where it's trying to sort of say, obviously, we listen to the intuition and we put it to one side, and we allow the rest of life to come and approach it. And where the two meet, you will find the evident path. And that comes through communication. Listening as much as speaking. Be clear and clean with your communication with energy, with the world around you, and with yourself. Be very clear with what you're trying to ask yourself to do. It's now moving away from the throat chakra. It's coming down. We're into the crown chakra's playing, and it wants to go into the heart, but it's playing into the solar plexus as well. It's almost as if it's like a young puppy sort of saying, I've done my work, can I go and play now? You know. It's sort of saying, don't forget to leave yourself force to play in life. You can do amazing things. We can do amazing things. But until we realize that also we have to be part of it as well, and enjoying part of it. So I say to people, whenever you make a cake, always keep a piece of cake for yourself. So then you'll know if the cake is good or not. And that's what I think that's coming back in there. It helps us to unify ourselves with others that are around us. It's even warning me about the heart chakra. Here comes the heart here. Absolutely glorious. I said the other week about spreading your wings. I hope you're getting used to spreading your wings and flying. The elation is still there. Listening to oneself. Listening to oneself is also listening to all of these beautiful things that are happening around you at one time. Even if you're in the center of a city, you will find that beauty. You will find that joy. And when you engage with that happiness, that's when you can let go of the fear, as it were, in stepping into life, whether I'm doing it right or not. You'll only know once you do it. Go ahead and do it. And that connection there may be helping out with things like circulation problems and so forth, which we talked about last week. But that heart is like going to an Italian restaurant and the patron is there with their arms open saying, you know, could be a mama or papa, and just sort of saying, welcome to the restaurant, you know, welcome to life. It's absolutely beautiful. Now we got the crown going on and the root at the same time. And there we're coming back to the central point. It's even reiterated my end phrase of the video to me. I think it's a slight reminder to my good self that, you know, life should be fun. So don't forget, please do enjoy, sort of thing. So that's actually really beautiful. That fundamental sort of things, I think it was a combination that came in the sacrum. The fundamental things came in not only from oneself, but also from outwards. And this is where I think energy is helping enormously by putting its energy behind things, and that could be behind pathways. That's why I want to say behind your path, if you are doing what you should be doing. And recognizing your fundamental desires, like I am hungry, that is a fundamental desire. My heart's desire is to eat a mozzarella and tomato sandwich salad. So it's recognizing those fundamental desires. You will find that it's much easier to put into action what you wish to do once you step into alignment with that. And it will make you a lot more confident about going forward, apparently. Okay? Let's just see, I want to now visit what's going on in the center of the earth, okay? So let's just connect to that energy again. It's absolutely beautiful. It just rings through me. Every time you connect, it's just like having a beautiful shower that we feel absolutely clean afterwards. It's absolutely beautiful. So there's the connecting point. Everything's focaling into thingy. The energy is very serene, actually, and calm around me. There's that crossing point. Okay, so now there's the line. I'm going back to that crossing point there that is in the little chapel that's just behind me. I get to the crossing point, and now we're going down into the vortex, going down through the crust of the earth. I'm slowing it down just to see what that's going on with that void there. Okay, there seems to be a lot more bubbles, actually. Yeah, this has got to be a video all by itself because they're in multitudes of different areas, and I don't want to put too much time on that, but there is multitudes of things going on there. It has this thing up by, it's where you have the opposite to the South Atlantic anomaly. You have the similar sort of thing going on up in China. Between China and Siberia, that zone there, that seems to be an important one. This almost seems to be a pushback as well going on it. So I'll have to investigate that. I will be doing another video on that. Let's just see. So we're going down that vortex out there. We've got the sphere now that's there. It seems to be resonating now, whereas before it was breathing. It seems to be like found a rhythm. The earth itself has found a rhythm. And I think this is why the sun's been very calm this week, allowing the earth to find its own rhythm for a moment. The break between the two waves, as it were. So, and I think those filament energies that will be erupting over the next few days, creating that water, will be providing a lot more but it's very clear vibration, you know. It's a dry vibration. It's not like undulating and unformed. It's really snap vibrations that like a heartbeat in a way, that's really coming into that. So let's just go through that heartbeat, saying come on, come on, come on. It's really lovely energy, actually, going through that, through to the doorway of the inner sphere. There it is there, and in through that. Excellent. Okay, just avoid the door going out. They seem to be showing me like the Akashic Library, or the section of that Akashic Library that is being formed in the center of the earth, is collecting weight. There is no doubt about it. Every day with new spirits and souls. I did the thing on the spirit and the souls things coming in, and they are, that's what that light is in the center of the, right. Okay, the light in the center of the portal, which is down there, which I've been talking about as well, is like the vibration that comes from all energy, our local galaxy. And once you get caught in that as a spirit, you will see nothing but that light. And that's that white space that I'm talking about when I talked about in the spirit and souls video. Okay, but at the same time, it's like one of the administrators, or one of the spirits that are helping the functioning of all this sort of transition, is sort of, it's tapping as if to sort of say, look at this. And there is a clock counting down on the wall, or I say on the wall, it's there in space. So I just need to look through the seconds, minutes and hours, days and years. Okay, I think this is pertaining to the final inversion of pole shift that will come to the surface. And it's strange because it's sliding dates. It's not fixed. And I think this comes back to the idea that we're not supposed to know the date. And even the years are sliding, as it were. So sometimes it's one figure, sometimes it's another. I don't think it's that precise at the moment, but over the next sort of, well, it's going between 4 and 10 years sort of thing. But in the next 4 and 10 years, it's the rolling out of that transition of that inner sphere of the earth and those changing layers of magnetic field as it gets pushed up to the surface, till finally the new magnetic field is born, where things, north is south and south is north finally. And that's over the next 4 to 10 years. Important times ahead of us. We are all here for that. That is another thing. The population is so big now compared to what it was, say, like 400 years ago, is because every soul has to be here on the planet to experience that transition. That's the information they're getting through, and it seems to be clear. And kind of, yes, the administrators kind of go, yes, that's, people need to wake up and understand this. We need to stop internal conflict. We need to stop making upon the back of another. Celebrate your good work and you will receive. That's what it's all about. Okay? It's really good energy. So I just want to have a look at that light coming through. I think that's the timing of that light. As I said, it was gradually coming through in a couple of videos 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was talking maybe a bit longer than that, even a month and a half, where that light is coming through, and it's going to take some years to come through. And I think that's about sort of 4 or 5 years that it's coming through. I keep getting Bob Marley, Wake Up and Live. Great song. Wake up and live now. So really beautiful energies. Thanking you very much for that. We have to digest everything apparently as well, everything that happens in the day. So being in the here and now, that is what living is really important. But do it lightly, as we saw in the chakra sequencing. Okay, I'm going to, yes, thanking you very much. They're saying we've got work to do, stuff to do, got to move on. Yeah, going back through that outer sphere onto the center of the sphere. Now let me just get a message from the earth. It's a little bit like the meek will inherit the earth. When you understand the simple things in life, you will understand where your richness or your wealth will provide for you in the future. So things are obviously going to change in the way of harvesting and so forth, and understanding that change and that rhythm is going to be important. It's not a warning, it's just telling us the way it is. It's not saying if you don't, you'll be in trouble. You might well be in trouble, but it's just the way it is. It's just the rhythm. Everything is in its place. Thank you. Okay, I'm waiting for that vortex to come out. There's that vortex there to the... I come up the top of the vortex, back down the line, and back into the body. Everything has its part to play. Everything, everyone, every being. Thanking you so much for being here with us. Hope you get the best out of these videos, I really do. There'll be a few videos coming out over the weekend, and obviously we've got the live on Sunday night at 9 o'clock UK time. That's 2100 hours UK time, where you can ask questions. We can all try and answer them as well and share our experiences. Collectively, we're going to get there. Okay? Thanking you very much for all your support you give to this channel. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.